Hey everybody, welcome back to Fix the Rust Bucket, where we're going to be wrapping up the A-post repair on the truck. We have a little bit more to remove of the old stuff and then some prep work to do on the part that we're going to be installing. So let's get right into that. Okay, so we're going to do the outer skin the same way we did the inner skin. We're going to make a few overcuts. One right here on the truck between the antenna mount and the hinge. Same thing on the part we're installing between the antenna mount and the hinge. We'll make that overcut, lay it on top of here, and then make our final cut to have it installed back into the truck. But before we get to that, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off some of this extra metal that I just don't need. Okay, so with the piece that goes up along your windshield removed, make it a little bit easier to work with this. Not so much weight on it when we make the cut. We're going to go ahead and tape off the truck itself and tape off the part that we're putting on there to get our lines for these cuts. Again, we're going to go low on the truck. We're going to go low with this tape line. And we'll go high on this one. All right, so with our two reference marks on both posts, we'll go ahead and start cutting these out, getting them ready to get lined up on the truck. Okay, so with the cut across here made, now we have 3 spot welds on this side to remove, and there's 2 on this side to remove. And with those drilled out, we should be able to pull this piece off and get the new piece set in place. So I'm going to use another oversized bit to break the spot welds on the outside of the skin here, but not damage or go into too much of the inside of the skin. right, so with that piece removed, we'll go ahead and get just this edge here and this edge cleaned up for now. A little mess that we made, get the tape off of here, lay the next piece on top, and find our final cut. Okay, so with that part of the hinge pillar removed, we're almost ready to reinstall this and get our final cut. But one more thing we've got to do before that is prep this. We have the new rocker, which comes up pretty high on here. We're going to remove most of the bottom here that's all rusted out, and that way we can line this up correctly along here and along here to get that in the correct position to weld it back on. So with all of the excess metal down here on the bottom of this that we're not going to need removed, we're going to go ahead and get it in place here, make our mark on top, and do our final cut on top to get this into its place. Now it's not going to fit perfect because it's the same diameter as the top part of the post. We're just trying to get it close. I'm going to end up making a mark with the marker across here, taking it back off and doing the cut that way. All right, so we'll go ahead and remove the clamps. Get this out of the way. right, so it's actually looking pretty good. It's lined up. And it's tight in all the spots it's supposed to be tight. So we'll go ahead and we're going to mark out our points where our spot welds are going to go back in, so we can clean those areas out. Probably not going to do that down there because the rocker is going to be here, so I'll stop welding at this point here for now. Same thing on this side. The rocker is going to be somewhere around here, so I'm not going to weld anything in past here yet until we get the rocker fit into place. But other than that, we can mark all of these spot weld locations. With all those marked, get this back off, get everything cleaned up and prepped for welding. Okay, so now with our part and the truck area, all the areas that we're going to be putting welds in, spot welds and the solid weld are all cleaned up, paint's off, removed from them. We're going to go ahead and fit this into place. We're going to clamp it down here on the bottom, and then we're going to throw a few tack welds across the top here and then fit the door, see what happens. Now I am going to temporarily put a clamp over here just to hold this side, but it will get removed as we adjust everything. And so I don't know how many tack welds I'm going to put up here. I don't, 2 or 3. I am going to put them in easy, if you want to call it easy locations to remove if I have to remove them. Got my ground set up as close as I can to this, and the clamps are still in place here in the front. So let's go ahead and get this welded in. See if we can get the door to fit on correctly. Okay, so the moment of truth here. Let's go ahead and get this clamp out of the way and our air hose out of the way. Get the door hung on here and see what we did. All right, so it is off a little bit, not a big deal. We'll come back, we're gonna remove some of these welds and adjust this piece here, the post, to line the door up. We really only have 1/4 of an inch at the most that we're up too high. So I've got to move this piece, the bottom part of the pillar, to the right, out to the side a little bit. I put it in too far. Not a big deal. We'll get that taken care of. We'll get the door out of the way and we'll get right back to cutting and welding again. Gonna mark where we're at now, down here. And we're also gonna mark right here. Just some visual reference areas. Now we'll go ahead and remove these bottom clamps here and adjust this. We'll readjust this, reclamp it, and re-weld it. And we'll move it out about 1/8 of an inch and see what that does. Okay, so with that adjustment, let's get the door again and see what happens. That's heavy. A little bit more fine tuning with the hinges themselves. I probably will, looking at this, I'm probably going to cut those weld points off again on the top, and I'm going to move the pillar ever so slightly, like a 1/16 of an inch out towards the front. I like the position where the bottom one's at. Back off with the door, cut away those welds again, and move the top over just a little bit. Getting there. Okay, so with about an hour's worth of work off camera, just fine tuning the angle where we wanted the hinges to be. We've got the door latching fine. We have the fender lines lined up, also all the trim along. So I temporarily put in the weather stripping across here and the door seal all along there. Make sure that everything was gonna line up correctly. It does, everything is smooth. So now we're gonna go ahead and take everything back apart and get started with welding the outside of the pillar up. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this video of getting the outside of the A-pillar back on. There's a few things I still have to do. I don't have a tool to get in these tight spots to clean up the welds. I do have the weld cleaned up on the back side here where the door closes, so if I don't get to this right away, it's strictly cosmetic. I still have to order some seam sealer so we can reseal the seams on the outside and the inside where we removed that. But for now, I'm gonna continue working on this, getting the outside rocker installed, and that'll be in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so when I post the next video, you guys will be notified. All right, thanks for watching Fix the Rust Bucket. In the meantime, if you'd like, check out some of my other videos.